We got ourselves Julia as a Volpera Shadow Priest. Volpera and an alpaca. And we also got Lulu, we got ourselves Memento, we got Prox in here, and Very Brandon. Very Brandon, I like that name. Where's the Team Red with Vital? We got ourselves Ganker, we got ourselves also Matt, Momova, and ETN. So it looks like it's like the 10th with the TH. But it looks like the first letter is T, second letter T. Next letter looks like an H, but it's actually an N. TTN, TN. Mr. T. We'll call him Mr. T. Aw, Julia! Why do we have to have Julia first? Cute little fox and a cute little alpaca, man. Are you not wearing a top? Cover yourself up. Jesus, this kid's watching. Chat, you're not allowed to see this anymore. Ganker, getting to get the shot on Julie, just gonna rot and dodge Julie down. Shadow Bits to try to come out. Ganker, good Shadow Step around. Ooh, does have that. Oh, stars, man. The stars could be huge for Julie as long as the procs are real. As long as he's able to keep a dot onto Ganker and the procs are good enough, he actually might melt. If this doesn't cloak fast enough, the stack's built up and actually does quite a bit of damage. He keeps poking out, man. Ganker, are you playing? What is that just now that landed on the ground? Is that the island trait? Are you playing the island essence? Are you playing... If you're playing the island essence, I'll be surprised. Like, is that your burst? Fear coming out onto Ganker. Julia is going to get the VT up and running onto Ganker. Looking to get away from the guy. Stun onto Ganker for now. Just trying to get away. Is going to go for a Void Form. Doing quite a bit of damage. Mind better to follow. Ganker taking quite a lot. Might have to pop a defensive here. Julia got cooldowns rolling right now. Had to go for Greater Fate a little bit early. Silence onto Ganker. Doesn't look like Silence is going to really do anything against rogues. I can't think of a single ability we use as silences. Maladurk rolling onto Julia. Does not want to go for Disperse yet. Might have to go for Disperse very, very late in order to make sure they actually get any kind of healing. What the fuck, Brandon? Dude, I swear to God, why is it every time we get, like, a random kid that has no idea what the fuck a duel means, it's always a goddamn paladin with goddamn ADHD. Okay, Julia, I don't know what's gonna happen. Julia, I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess you can continue the duel with Namova. Very sorry, Ganker. Very sorry that happened. Oh, you left? Okay, cool. I don't know if you got kicked or not. But I think Julia's actually just going to go for some damage onto the pet. Cataclysm around the distance. That's going to be a Crucible to follow right after. It has to go for heals, but he just cannot get any heals with his pet interrupts. But I think Namova is interrupting him a little early. Julia can finally go for some damage. That's going to be a pet Mindbender, maybe some Dod's Breath to follow onto Namova. Silence into a stun right now. Could shrink it out of it. Or the one to Julia trying to get the dots up and running. Is going to go for Void Eruption, but look at just to get a little bit of line of sight and stay away from Namova. And looks like maybe Namova is also running Infinite Stars. Honestly, feel like they are. Julia's just gonna start slapping the pet around while they got the Void Eruption rolling. While they got the Void Form rolling. It's gonna be Cataclysm for Namova. Does get hit finally with stars. Perfect for Julia. Trying to go for a bit of a heal, but Julia looks like they recovered quite a bit of health. We're at the 5-minute, 30-second mark with 4% dampening. Again, super unlucky, boys. I'm so sorry, Genko. I keep looking at your dead corpse because they're playing right next to you, and I just feel so bad, man. Why is it always paladins? Can somebody in chat explain me why is it always paladins that come in and ruin these things? I mean, what are these paladins on, dude? What are these paladins on? Seriously, why paladins every time? Like, I feel like it should be rogues or something, right? It should be warlocks or something. The classes that you would think are like, you know, the criminals. It looks like it's going to be a kill onto Namova soon. Julia getting hit with a coil for a second. Fear to follow, get it stunned up, and maybe a silence could go down onto Namova. Does get interrupted on some shadow spells. Do they have an execute available, though? If they have an execute available, this would be a perfect opportunity. The Mindbender does go down. Namova barely has any health. I feel like Julia is trying to extend the game until they have more so the cooldowns available, but they've really been able to whittle down Namova. Trying to go for an execute. Looks like there's going to be some lagging happening with Namova. And Julia, again, still extending the game, making it last super long. Leap coming down onto Infernal. We saw it from a mile away. It's going to be a tricky coming out for Julia with a Greater Fade. I think they actually faded the Casbolt. It's going to go for a bit of a Void Eruption onto Nomova. That's going to be a Void Form available. Does hit him with a Fear while Wall is up and running. Needs to get the dots rolling and just dot him up a little bit longer. Nomova is getting quite a bit of healing from the Crucible of Flame. Horror effect down on Julia. Good turn around with big Casbolt. Julia getting silence on Nomova. This needs to end the game ASAP. I feel like they've been playing maybe a little bit too carefully, but maybe you have to play this carefully. Stars are hitting Nomova for now. Does hit him with a breath. Banish coming down onto the Mindbender. The Infernal does go down, so Nomova does not have any more bursts, but looks like they're trying to turn the damage around on Julia. Shadow Fear around the corner. Does it connect? I don't think it does. Julia has plenty of cooldowns available, minus the Trinket. And if they were to take down Nomova right now, without any trinket available or trinket needed, they should be good in a good position right now. It looks like Nomova is also playing the stars as well, by the looks of it. Julia tried to go for Greater Fate, try to get some damage in. Is going to go for Vampiric Embrace. Fear onto Julia, trying to get away from the Fear, trying to get away from Casbolt. Looks like he might be able to get an Execute onto a little bit onto Momo. Just a few more globals on that Execute. Is in the Casbolt for free with a Cataclysm around the corner, barely in health, and Julia does end up coming out. I felt like that game could have ended a little bit early. Julia just needed to press that Execute. Maybe the Warlock just had a lot of healing available for it. Maybe Julia just wanted to be extra super safe, but I mean, with how the game went, they didn't do that bad. That's going to be Met up next versus Julia. Julia only had to go against an Assassination Rogue. And I feel like the first game would have been the end to them, if anything. The first game would have been the end to them. But Ganker got ganked. Ah, Jesus. Met does catch himself a full reset. Wants to go for another kidney shot setup onto Julia. Wants to let the dots rot him. I would say that strat out from Assassination Rogues a lot more often. He's got himself Rupture, maybe even a kidney shot to follow. No, actually just bailing out, letting the Crucibles and the dots really do the work. Julia has no way of catching up to the Rogue. The Crippling Poison is literally crippling. Unless they maybe go for Random Fear. Might be able to go for a setup onto Med. Does go for Warlock. Does go for a Cloak in order to take away the Corruptions. I'm sorry about that one. I guess there's certain Corruptions that were trying to hit him. Or starting to hit him. Does have himself Void Eruption for a second. Got himself a little bit of the Greater Fade. That's going to be Stars hitting Med from time to time. Does hit a Silence onto the Rogue, but I don't think it does anything. It's going to be Dispersed. Does he have a Maledict to follow? It does not. Oh, he does have a Maledict to follow. It is actually stopping Julia's self-healing. Med still has a Cloak of Shadows. Still has Trinket. Still has everything. Julia just needs to find a way to sneak up the damage on him. That's going to be a Vendetta right now out of the Rogue. Looking to end the game. Stars are hitting him. What? He could have cloaked. He could have pressed anything. He actually got killed by the stars. Oh my god, the stars are insane for Shadow Priest. And Big Casbolt's coming out for Bite, looking to end Julia, take him out of the game immediately. So the rest of Team Blue even have a chance to play. Lulu is going to be up next as a, what is it, Orc? Orc Monk has got himself a fat corruption to hitting Vital. Vital should probably want to eliminate immediately. That's some freebie damage right now. Look at how much damage that thing does. Stun into Vital. He's trying to get the hell out of there immediately. Super low in health. Loses pressing his advantage while he's got a... Vital still has every cooldown available, every defensive available to Lelou's popping in wall, just try to stay in that game as best as possible. Casbolts are going to do barely any damage to him right now, and it's going to go for a ring of boopity bop to deal with the wall. It's going to be Fear onto Lelou, doesn't have a way out of it. Casbolt's still hitting him for free, but still wall keeping him afloat for now. Has Karma if things really go bad. Horror effect to follow. Vital cooking up another Casbolt right now. It's going to hit him. Karma coming down for Lelou. Still got hit with that Casbolt in the first place. Vital, if he can survive this Karma for just a little bit, he might stand a chance, but it looks like if it's a Fear, might lock him down. Try to go for a Fear. Casbolt to follow right after. No, it looks like maybe Lelou's going to take him out. Does get himself a big old kick at the very end. And T, the Russian Paladin, Mr. T, TTN, is up next. Try to go for a setup until Lelou getting hit with an incap, not dismounting so he can stay as mobile as needed. Lelou trying to get a slow into the Pala, but next Hodge is going to be have him down for the count. Hand of Freedom trying to come out for T. No, actually doesn't even try for it. Looks like he just wants to get mounted up. Oh, nice pet by the way. Oh, nice mount. Next Hodge, I mean that should do it. As long as he can somehow catch up to the monk, he should be all right. Dude, that stars on that Rogue, dude. I don't believe it, man. It's gonna be a Twisted Panfish proccing for Lelou, doing quite a lot of damage to Mr. T. Eliminating Twisted Corruption immediately. It's gonna be stunned into Lelou. It's gonna be shortest stun because he is an Orc, so he's not gonna sit it nearly as long. And T is looking to maybe get some more damage continuing on onto Lelou, using the mobility to deal with a Paladin and incap onto Pala right now. Lelou just needs to get more Corruptions procs right now. If he can get a bunch of Corruption procs, then T is gonna be down for the count, as long as his Corruptions are at a distance too. Like, that'll be perfect. Look to just stay immobile as best possible. Paladin mounting up. Fist of Fury is going to connect immediately with Wall for Lulu, giving him that extra health and survivability to stay in there. T does have himself Echo and Void. That is going to be a appendage coming down, and T has to actually walk up and kill it. Does have Wings up and running against Lulu. He does go for every single defensive available. There's going to be some defensive healing going on for T right now. Body is chilling. Has bubble if things really go bad. Does have a bop or a bubble for Karma. It's going to go for Chill of Vengeance. Could be a Karma out of Lulu. Try to see if he can get a Karma out of him. Unless he's going to bail out to the other side. T is going to go for defensive as best as he can. Next bop or bubble on the Karma is probably going to be the end of Lulu unless he gets himself all the healing in the world. He's trying to practically heal himself. T's Chill of Vengeance does not get to pop next to the Monkus, and he's still on a run, trying to prolong this game as best as possible, using as much as he can in terms of toolkit in order to get himself as much value. Wings are coming out for T. He could bubble this right now. He's going to bob the damage off and lose, trying to see if he can continue running as best as possible. It's going to be some pony up for T. It looks like he might have caught up to Lulu. Trinkets out of that Hodge immediately. That's going to be maybe some healing coming up for T if he can survive the 4 Barons a little bit longer here. Barely any health left, and down he goes. Lulu finishes him off at the very end. What a good use of that. Wow, Julia actually did quite a bit of damage. I kind of want to take it away from Julia. I feel like the first duel against Ganker, that probably would have been the Rogue's win. Like, let's be honest. It's a Rogue. It's Ganker. He's really, really good. And I'm very, very sad that it ended the way it did. But we did get to see a Shadow Priest play for a little bit. I thought that was cool.